This is going to get crazy.
Talk about a scene, it's what we're doing. Come and check it out, it's what we're all about. 561 Music!
Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
And how are you, Hector? You seem like you're in a good mood.
I am in a good mood.
That's fantastic.
I don't know why I'm in a good mood, but I'm in a good mood. So
I'll take it, man. When you smile, the world smiles with you. So I'm happy about that.
Run with it, man. Run with it. Doesn't happen often. So,
this weekend we played at Oasis.
we did.
Yeah.
We did. And if I recall correctly, it rained for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it packed, they have that big patio. So a lot of people go to that back patio, even if there's a band inside. And we usually get a pretty good crowd inside, but outside always gets packed.
Yeah.
They have the big TV, they have a DJ, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it
They're
started
playing like house music out there.
Yeah, it started raining, and so everybody came inside, and it was just wall-to-wall people.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
And James very sensibly, shouted over to me to keep going, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good idea because...
It kept people there.
Yeah. And we just played for ages. We did like a 2-hour first set, and we just slayed it. Just kept all the people. It was loads of fun, actually.
Yeah, it was really fun. There was a good amount of people there.
And it was interesting because usually when that place is packed for us, we can kind of predict what they'll like. But these guys, because they were from outside, they seem to be really into songs I wasn't expecting, and then not into ones I was expecting.
Well, it's funny because it's funny you said that because I feel like there's a lot of times that we play, people will come up to us and say, can you play this? Or do you take requests? And the answer is always like, sure, if we know it. And we're such a unique, different band that we don't always know the stuff that they're asking for. It's radio hits and things that we don't necessarily play. And for whatever reason, we were about 1,000 on Friday. People were coming up like, hey, could you play Dropkick Murphys? Why, yes, we can. Can you play Flogging Molly? Why, yes, we can. Can you play, everything. We were like hitting everything.
There was a weird one too. It wasn't, then someone after Galway Girl.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I love it when that happens because you really feel, there's nothing worse than when someone comes up to you and asks you, can you play a song? And you can't. Yeah. And for some reason, and they get like, I think it's because they get embarrassed. They go into this weird, no, you have to play it.
Yeah, I don't even think they get embarrassed. I just think people just don't understand. They don't understand. There's billions of songs in the world. There's no way that any one band knows every song on the planet.
And they go, you must know that. And we almost invariably say, we do know it.
We know the song.
But we don't
know how to play it. And they I think people get perplexed because they're like, well, if you know how the song goes, shouldn't you just automatically know how to play it? And that's just not how it works.
Well, the thing is, that is true to a certain extent. If the songs didn't have any lyrics, we would know every song.
Sure.
But that's the problem. Lyrics and structure. It's not like figuring out the first 4 chords. That's easy. But, Yeah, so that's about it. So we have Kenny Prather with us today. How's it going, man?
Going great. Thanks
the man,
for having
the
me.
myth, the legend.
Yeah.
And this episode is about the scene, and Kenny is pretty much the scene. So
he goes to so many shows, don't you? And you also organise Kenny's calendar, which is where a lot of people know how to go to shows. So I guess I'd start off by saying thank you very much for being such a trooper.
Yeah. My pleasure.
And how did you find yourself getting into punk rock and going to shows originally?
Originally, it was probably just out of high school when the Sex Pistols album came out. Me and a friend got into that, and then that just led to going to the record store and finding Black Flag, Dead Kennedys, all that stuff. And then that went on for a while, led into skating, BMX riding.
Oh, cool.
And then I fell into the hair band thing for a while.
Okay. It happened to the best of us.
Yeah, that happened.
We won't hold that against you.
And that's kind of started with that.
Cool. And have you always kind of been so enthusiastic when it comes to going out and going to shows?
Yes. And then children. We decided to have kids, so parenting took over for quite a while.
Sure.
And then, oddly enough, it was my older son, when he turned 18, wanted to go to see a Nirvana tribute band.
Nice.
It wasn't Smells Like Grunge, but it was the Nirvana double N. And, he knew every word to every song, and that kind of rejuvenated live music.
Oh, nice.
So it started when he was 18, so 6 years ago.
Nice.
Started going back out.
Wicked. And like I previously mentioned, you put a lot of the shows that are happening around town on your social media called Kenny's Calendar. How long have you been doing that?
Since March of 2022.
Okay.
So what prompted you to, I mean, you go to all these shows, you go to a lot of these shows. What prompted you to start sharing all the flyers and, you know, all that kind of stuff and kind of creating this Kenny's Calendar sort of persona online?
Well, it started, my friend Mike invited me to the street painting festival in Lake Worth.
Okay.
And I got there halfway through Tasty Vibrations. And I was kind of angry that I didn't know they were playing.
Oh, there you go.
And he's like, well, you should make a calendar so you'll know when they're playing. I'm like, that's not a bad idea, really. And then talked to my wife about it, and she's like, just do it. So I started doing it, and it just kind of steamrolled from there.
That's great. A year or so ago, I remember reaching out to you and being like, do you want to just kind of make it a part of this? And I think that, you know, you're like, no, I'm good.
Too much pressure. Too much pressure.
Yeah,
more of a behind the scenes guy. I'm a little nervous doing this kind of stuff.
No, that's fair. We really appreciate you coming on, and I know it. You know, I can see why it make you nervous, but there's no need to be. You know, much beloved, and I feel like when it comes to all of the bands that play around here, we're just really grateful that there's people out there who care about that we're doing it. You know, and that put effort into buying merch, telling other people about it, and just putting bodies in the room, because sometimes that can be a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, just even getting people out. But when people see a few people are going out, that prompts more people to go. You know, you just have to tip that balance a little bit.
Right. Yeah. And that was kind of the main idea, too, is to get friends to know who's playing. And I'm going to go. Why don't you come out? We'll have more fun. And more people, more fun.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, you know, like Ben said, you know, it's one thing for us as bands to say, come out to our show, come out to our show, come out to our show.
Right.
But when someone who's not in the band is saying, hey, why don't you guys come out to a show, it kind of gives it a certain validity of like, oh, they must not suck. You know, let me go hang out. Yeah, let me go hang out and listen to these guys. Yeah. You know, it's different when the band itself is like, hey, come out to my show. Yeah, okay, I'll come out to your show. You know, like that kind of thing. But
no, totally.
Yeah.
It's you know, if it's just the band and their mums talking about it, it doesn't quite have the same.
My mom loves us, man. Shut up.
Your mum does love us, actually. So does mine, but she can't come to the shows because she lives in England, sadly. So when you go out to shows, as you can see, I thought I'd put it out on the table. You have a lot of bands.
Oh, this is just a small portion of the stuff that you have.
Yeah, I got a box of T-shirts and things here too. I like to get a little something each time just to help support.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
I think a fun thing might be is if you grab a T-shirt at random out of there and see if you can remember where you got it and where it's from.
Oh boy. Well, the one right on top, I'll let you hold that. The Shake. They were one of the first bands that made me realize how great the scene was and how friendly everybody is and how all the bands get along and how they all help one another. It's just amazing how cool everybody is.
Yeah, and the Shake are a great band, and I had the hat of this, and you know, they had awesome merch and stuff. They didn't play for about a year, but then they did a secret gig recently at they did 2 in a row, didn't they?
Yeah. They did one for Kenny Fest.
Yeah, that's right.
The birthday party
the
show.
birthday party show, and then they did it again for the Shake and Bake.
Yeah, that's it.
Who's in that band?
The Shake.
Yeah, who's in that band?
It's Ricky.
Ding. If you don't know what that is, at some point we're going to put together a reel, and it's going to be every time we've mentioned either Hunter or Ricky, and it's going to keep a tally because I got to see who wins, who gets mentioned the most.
Yeah, it'd be interesting on this episode actually to see who comes out on top.
Hunter who?
That counts. He said his name.
All right, yeah, no, they're a great band, and they hadn't played around here for a while, which I actually think was. I see what they were doing, and I think it was smart, is, you know, give the place a bit of a breather, because they would play a lot around here. And then, you know, when you come back, people will go, oh, you know, they actually care. Because it's so easy to saturate the area, you know?
Right.
It really is. And I know that Ricky was really trying to avoid that. Like, that's why they were touring constantly, and that's why they only played around here. They haven't played around here for a while. It's because it's just, before you know it, you're playing every weekend, and you know, even like really good bands, if someone can come and see you and, you know, 2 nights a week or 3 nights a week, then eventually they kind of stop coming because you get that thing in your head where you're like, well, I can see them anytime I want.
Right.
And that ends up being, I was seeing them never. You know?
Exactly.
Well,
Yep,
that
I
used to
agree.
happen to us with when Justin and I were doing the Nirvana tribute. When we were doing Smells Like Grunge. We were only doing like, I don't even know, like 3-4 shows a year or something like that, and we were doing them at places like the Kelsey Theater and things like that, because if we were doing a show and we were charging people $20 to come out and see this tribute show or whatever, it made no sense to play 47 other times at, Swampgrass and O'Shea's and everywhere else where you can come see us for free. Why would you pay to come see us if you could see us for free 1,000 other times?
Right.
Yeah.
So it just made sense for us, yeah.
If anyone's watching this and they're not from Florida, look how wonderful this is. Look at all this stuff we got on the table. This is all local bands. There's just everyone's so up for it around here in Palm Beach County. Yeah. There's a decent music scene, and and there's people in it propping it up like Kenny, who go to all the shows and talk about it. If you had any doubts about it before, look, here it is on the table right here. But, all right, let's do it again. Let's grab another shirt out.
Well, we don't want to get this one because we already know who that is.
So that was me. So
Still is.
Yeah. Just
Occasional
about.
shows for the right money.
How about that one?
There you
Oh,
go.
there you go. Kings of the scene, baby.
There you go.
Billy was another one instrumental in just showing me how nice everybody is and how helpful they are to each other in the bands. They try to all lift each other up, and
That's the thing. We started this podcast almost 4 years ago, and that is one huge takeaway I've had is all the bands, like, it's not cutthroat by any means.
Not at all.
You get an occasional asshole, but like very seldomly. Like almost everybody in the scene is so supportive of everybody else. Nobody ever is like, oh, you got that record deal or you got that show. Everybody's like happy for each other and like helpful to each other. Yeah.
I think there are some people around who are a pain in the butt, but the thing is,
Don't talk about me.
There's so many that aren't. That it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I agree.
Like people, that kind of person just ends up like not really. There's no one like right now. It feels like in any kind of position of influence, there's just a horrible person.
No, and there's not. But I know what you're saying. Like there's all these bands that we talk about because they're all part of the scene and they're all helpful to each other and they're all putting on shows and they're all doing different things and helping each other out. But I know what you're saying. Occasionally you come across a band that like feels entitled or something and is real pushy and whatever. And it's simple. They're not helpful to all the other bands like the way all the other bands are helpful. They just end up not playing as many shows because they're not invited to those shows. And
exactly.
that's just, the camaraderie and everything is really what makes this scene so fun.
Yeah, totally. And it just the humanity of it all, really. Just decent people can get more opportunities. That's for sure. I don't think you can say that in the great wide world, but you can definitely say that around here.
Well, I love, Kenny's pulling out these T-shirts and stuff, and I love how you share all the flyers, and we always talk about support the scene, and you are practicing what we preach. Like you are the embodiment of what we're telling people to do. Get out, go to a show, bring your friends, buy merchandise, support the bands. This is how they continue to be able to do this and stuff. And so, it started out where we noticed you posting some stuff and then Kenny's calendar and then you were posting things. And now it seems like, a couple of times a day I see you posting, 8, 10, 15 flyers of like, this is everything that's happening this weekend kind of thing. But then you started doing like other things like T-shirt Tuesdays. Right. Every Tuesday you would feature a different T-shirt. Right. Not just a random T-shirt, but a T-shirt that you bought and you to support the scene. And so, like the fact that you do that every Tuesday and you have that many T-shirts is friggin' awesome.
Yeah, totally. And we're all here for it too. There's plenty. People love it when you see that stuff up there. It's just, here's a risk of repeating ourselves. It's like it just makes it real.
Oh, yeah.
And I think actually, more than as important or debatably more important than the bands is people who care about the bands.
Yeah. Well, what's really funny is, and Kenny, you and I have talked about this a couple of times, like, I feel like Kenny is like, you ever see that movie Multiplicity? So I feel like Kenny has like like clones of himself all over the town. Because I rarely get a night off from Kill Billy's, but when I do, I'll pick a couple of shows and I'll go to those shows. And it seems like no matter which show, I mean, there's 100 shows on any given Friday or Saturday night. No matter which show I go to, I run into Kenny.
Yeah.
So
we usually see each other out.
Yeah. And so, and it's funny, and he'll tell you like, I'm only going to hang out for this one set because I just came from this other band and I saw their first set, and now I'm going to go to this next band and see their last set. Like, he makes it a point to go to like as many venues as he can in one night, and that's awesome, dude.
It is and it isn't, because you miss out on something like this Saturday is a tough one because there's some good stuff going on at two different venues.
I was talking to Keith about that, and Keith said he told you, "Don't worry, it's okay." But I want to see you running from.
I probably will run over and hopefully catch you guys. Definitely.
I said to Keith I wasn't going to give you as easy a time.
So are you? I mean, do you? It's probably a stupid question, but like, are you going to shows like literally like every Friday, Saturday kind of thing? I mean, are you going out? all the
Not
time?
every single one.
Yeah.
But a lot of them.
Yeah.
Sonia could tell you a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and Sonia comes out like a lot as well. You say you always go together, or is
I'd say 70%
quite
of the time.
a bit of the time. Yeah, I see you around a lot.
Cool.
And not just local bands. Like I've seen you at the local bands. I've seen you at some regional band stuff, and then I've seen you at some national band stuff down south and things like that. I've caught you at shows like that. So I mean, like you support all music across the board.
Well, it's amazing how much is out there.
Yeah.
And so much good stuff too.
Well, I think that's, there's something to really be into it. You can just completely immerse yourself in it, right? Exactly. And long may that last, really. I wish there were more places to play down here. It's the only thing,
Well, we're pretty lucky. My brother lives up in Pennsylvania, and they have like one or two venues, hardly any live music.
Yeah.
So he came down last year for the 561 Fest and was just blown away.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And that makes me happy. I think, especially like during the pandemic when so many places closed, and with Ticketmaster slowly squeezing the life out of local scenes.
Right.
Everything.
That, you'd think certain places would have places, but a lot of places that you would expect to have, more options don't anymore.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're right. We don't do too bad. I think we've got, if you think about like places that put on like original acts, there's Propaganda, there's Respectables, there's Matthews, and then you've got Northwood Art and Music that they're putting venues on, they're putting stuff on. What else in terms of original stuff?
There's Tara, a little bit north of us.
Guanabanas.
Guanabanas. They do a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the cool thing about Guanabanas is they really they're on like the tasteful side of the line between kind of just cover bands and good and real
A little
bands.
bit of everything.
Yeah.
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 And they somehow still manage to, Matt somehow still manages to keep it like with an identity. You kind of know vaguely the kind of thing they'll have there,
Right.
If not, it's always. No, I think Matt does a really, really good job over there.
It'll be interesting next Wednesday, the Hump Punk Rock night.
Oh,
they're
yeah,
having.
that looks sick.
Yeah,
That's a little different for Guanabanas.
Billy's playing that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy Doom and
Dominic. Yep.
I was talking to him about that because, it's kind of dependent on how that does is whether I get to do a ska like that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That would be good.
So everyone go to that Wednesday at Guanabanas.
Is that
make
next
it
week?
Successful.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, we should go and do a live remote from there.
We should actually.
Oh, that would be good.
We should do that.
We should just go film our
And it's next week that we don't have the good.
Yeah.
Okay, we should do that.
We should do that.
Yeah.
do that.
And yeah, for real. So have you are you from the area? Did you grow up here or did you move down here at some point?
I moved down here from Pennsylvania in 86.
Okay.
Right.
And before I forget, I was going to say the Guanabanas. I've been here since 86, and it wasn't until about 4 or 5 years ago that my wife and I found out about Guanabanas. Never knew about it. We went to see Sierra Lane.
Yeah.
So she got us to find that venue. Now we go a lot.
That's cool.
And other bands have got us to like Blab Scam got me to Tough Times.
Nice. Yeah.
That was
Sure.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then just last weekend, Spread played at Frenchie's. Never.
Yep.
I've
What was
heard
that
about
like? I saw
Frenchie's.
it. I've never
It was
been there.
packed.
Sick.
It was really good, and they're
Yeah.
playing there again on the 13th.
They can have they just draw such a crowd.
I was just gonna say, like, Spread could play on the corner of North Lake and Military, and they would have a crowd. I mean, like, they always draw a crowd. So.
Yeah.
I was so lucky that they played the birthday. That was
Absolutely.
the best. That
We
was the
should talk
best.
about that. We have a picture from that event. Here's a picture up of your birthday, dude. It looks like you're having a really, really crazy time.
It was one of the best nights of my life. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So who played?
Well, originally it was going to be Young Cassidy,
Yeah.
Spread the Dub, Billy Doom, and Blabscam. And then Billy said, I got a new band. Could we open? And it's called the D-Gens. I'm like, sure, why not? So they opened.
What was that like?
It was good.
Cool.
3-piece, and they were good.
Was it like a electro punk type thing, right?
I don't know what label I would put on it, to be honest.
Right, gotcha. Was there like synths and stuff involved?
No.
Okay.
No. Billy on bass. That was pretty cool.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
And,
For some reason, I thought there was synth involved.
Adam was singing. It was good.
Nice.
And then Blabscam, and then Young Cassidy. Raul, he puts on a show.
For sure.
He got me to do a shot of tequila on the bar. That was pretty neat.
Nice.
And of course, Spread got everybody dancing.
Yeah.
And then Billy tore the house down, and then he says, "Oh, next is the Shake."
Yeah.
And I had no idea. Nobody had an idea. Ricky was there, and I noticed Tequila was there, which is unusual that late.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they did a set. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's killer. man.
So did you put this night together? Like, did you talk to Franco and get the whole night going and everything, or how did that all
Actually,
come about?
Billy brought it up. He's like, we should have a birthday party. Who do you want? And that was the worst questions. Like, I want like 30 bands.
You're like, I want them
because
all.
I want them all. So it was really hard to narrow it down. And, I didn't want to leave anybody out, but you can only have so many.
No, absolutely.
So maybe next year we'll get the ones I didn't get.
No, it looked like a lot of fun. Were we in Minnesota or something like that?
Yeah, you guys were in town.
we weren't even here. We were in Minnesota.
Yeah, and that's why we weren't playing.
And that's why we don't.
Exactly.
Right. It had nothing to do. We actually turned it down. We were the first choice, but
No, it's super awesome, and just a testament the fact that everyone wants to play it. The kind of effect you've had just by being supportive, by being kind, supportive. That's all we got to be in life, really. So
Thank you.
Yeah, man. The next thing we should do is get another one of these shirts.
Oh, why I have one right here.
Oh, there you go.
Another one of my favorites.
Oh, absolutely. So,
Now-
tell us a little bit about Octo Gutto.
Oh, it's surfy, it's twangy, it's just good. And the fun part is they put on a little show. They always bring inflatable beach toys.
Yep.
So the crowd gets to play with beach balls and pool noodles and rafts and floaties and
Now, did you see them first at the 561 Festival, or did you see them before that?
actually I believe it was the 561 Fest the first time.
Oh, that's
And it was
awesome.
just nonstop fun.
So I remember when we were talking about them. I don't know I can't remember if you'd seen them before.
I
that
had
or
never
not.
seen them. You had actually brought it up that they potentially wanted to do a reunion show.
Yeah.
And that
It made me so happy when I heard they're getting back together because I used to play with None Ska Band with them back in the day, and they just sort of blew me away. That kind of surf and also that stage presence,
Yeah.
It's like when people have a stage presence like that, it's just undeniable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mike Locke does a great job. I actually bought my amp that is in this room off mic, and I changed the speaker out the other day, but that's a boring thing to talk about. So all right. So why don't we do one more?
All right, one more. Another one of my favorites.
Oh, there we go.
You gotta love Blabscam.
Absolutely. So which gigs did you get this at? And tell us a bit about Blabscam.
Ooh, I think Blabscam, the first time I saw him was Propaganda. And just a unique, cool kind of punk sound, kind of 80s kind of punk sound. And then you met the guys afterwards, and they're just great guys. I mean, it's super fun.
Yeah. No, it's I listened to a lot of the recordings when because Rocky was recording their record.
Rocky Rucker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ding.
Yeah. There you go.
Damn it, we got to add it into the mix now too.
No, that's so funny. And he was around my place doing some mixes at one point, so I got to hear a lot of the record. Really liked it, and it's that kind of garage punk type deal.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of bands who sound like that around lately, and I really like it. It's not something that I'm hugely well versed in, and so every time I hear it, it's refreshing and nice to hear. So really, that. Oh, where's this skateboard from? What's
that
this
was
about?
I brought that to the Matthews Punk Rock Fest earlier this year, and had everybody that was playing sign it.
That's a
I
very
just
good
thought that'd be
idea.
kind of a neat souvenir of the
Yeah.
day.
No, that's a killer idea, man.
Yeah, that was a good event. And that's another thing down here, the events. Like you guys with 561, you got Barkback,
Yeah.
Tequila Fest. There's just so many.
Yeah, they really are.
There is there's a lot going on down here all the time, and I mean, I talk to friends because of the art thing that I do. I have friends all over the country, all over the world, really, and but I talk to friends, from around the country, and they listen to the podcast, and we'll talk about different events that are happening down here, and they're always saying the same thing, like, "Oh, I wish that was happening here. I wish that was happening." And I'm really surprised because I feel like a lot of the touring bands don't make it this far south sometimes. Like
Right.
they stop like in North Florida, Jacksonville, that kind of thing, or they don't even come down into Florida. And that happens a lot with the touring bands. But for whatever reason, outside of the touring bands, with the local scene and the regional scene or whatever, like it's just thriving down here.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy how many bands we have down here and how many good bands we have down here. Because that's the other thing is like, you could go to a bar in any other town and at any point in time and watch 5 bands and maybe there's a couple that you liked.
Right.
But I feel like 90% of the time around here, you go see a band and you're like, oh, they're good.
Yeah.
I know, and there's another one on the list. One of the ones I really liked at 561 was At the Starlight.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I never heard of them, saw the name, and
Yeah.
I was right up front when they started singing.
Love
I'm like,
them.
oh my gosh, so good.
Yeah, love them. Love
Absolutely.
them. And they're very different from a lot of the other stuff in the scene. A lot of the stuff in the scene is very, very punk and very rock, and they're just
Have a
they're
bit
just-
of like a Portlandy vibe.
yeah. They have just like
Cool.
this mellow vibe. I
Right.
love that about them. Yeah.
So there's another one. It goes on the list to
have
go
you seen
see.
them since the festival?
No,
Yeah.
I missed. They were 2 weekends ago. They were played on an afternoon show, and I missed
Yeah,
it.
they're I think they're from down south, like the Miami area and stuff. So they don't play up this way as often as we would like them to. And we've been starting to get more and more bands on the podcast that are from the south area and stuff.
Right.
So
I wanted to talk about Suicide Bombers. They're my favorite band around here.
Yep.
I mean, I know you shouldn't have favorites, but I do, and it's Suicide Bombers. But yeah, they rock.
he doesn't have favorites, but if he were to have a
Yeah,
favorite,
It would be
yeah,
those guys.
Yeah,
Totally. I think we're playing with them in August. I can't wait. So something which worth talking about now, seeing as we're talking about gigs and things, is that Keith and I have been booking some shows, and with the first one of which is this Saturday. It's all 561 music basically, but it's just Keith was the one who. Keith, if you don't know who Keith is, he's in Algorithms with me, and he's just a great guy I've got to know a lot really well lately, and we've been putting on some shows all through the fall and into the winter, just to try and sort of add some shows to the mix, try and busy things up and give more bands like some opportunities to play, and
make Kenny a little crazier, trying to figure out where to go and watch bands, right?
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Making it harder.
No, that's basically it. One of the last thing that I really wanted to ask is, right, can we have the Kenny's calendar for this weekend coming up?
Oh, this weekend.
I could look it up if you want.
Actually, so Friday night, my son and a friend were going to go down and see 2 tribute bands at Revolution, the Chili Poppers.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know the Green Day tribute. But
Okay.
we're going to go down there. And then Saturday, of course, you and Keith are at Propaganda with Butch and the Fat Tubes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And Inflammators.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, did I say it right?
Yeah, perfect.
Yep. And then
No, it's inflammators.
yeah, I know. I was like, And then Matthew says they're luau.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of names over there.
That's
Yeah.
on Saturday as well.
Yeah, it's on Saturday.
It looks
So
a lot of fun over there. There's a whole slew of like bands, kind of usual suspects over at Matthews.
Yeah.
so lucky that Prop and Matthews are close, so we can sneak back and
Exactly.
forth in between breaks.
And if anyone is thinking of going to one of those, go to the other one as well. Support the scene. Do us a favor.
Definitely.
I'm going to go sleep. I'm gonna take the night off.
Yeah, man. So Killbillies this weekend. We are, well, tomorrow, which if you listen to this is going to be yesterday. We happy 4th of July, everybody. Happy Independence Day. Not a big day in England. understandably. But since I've been here, I've definitely enjoyed it.
I can't imagine why.
And actually, I'm working on my naturalization right now as we speak. So all cross fingers, all things going good, I will be one of you at some point in the near future. So we're playing a private party on Thursday, which is should be a lot of fun. We did it last year, didn't we?
Yep.
And
actually, we did it last year, and they started setting off fireworks while we were playing, and it was really loud, and I wasn't expecting it, so it was like a little startling when it first started. But the part that really got me was they were lighting these like Roman candle things, and one of them fell over and it shot into the tent that we were playing. Remember
that's
that?
Right. Oh my God, it was like
about a heart attack.
Yeah, it was like someone shot a missile at us.
Yeah. We were like, do they not like the music? Like, what's happening here? You could just tell us to stop. You don't have to shoot us off the stage.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, it was like they're firing cannons at us.
Yeah. Oh, that was so funny.
Let's hopefully that doesn't happen again.
And they had that one of those booths up, like the one we had at 561 Music.
Yeah.
And I've got some funny pictures from that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing with Thursday. And then other shows. So Square Group are on Saturday. Is there any Killbillies gigs?
That's you and James as a duo.
Yeah. Is there any Killbillies gigs this weekend?
Nope. That's why I said
I looked
I'm
before
gonna
I came up.
sleep and do nothing.
That is wild.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
Yep.
That has got to be the first time in a long time. That's weird.
Yeah. I'm a little bit.
You miffed about it?
No, not miffed. I feel lost. I don't know what to do this weekend. I'm like I don't have a Killbillies gig. Like what do I do with myself? Like
I know. I almost wonder whether you should just come and play with us at Square Group. Keep us company. Talk to James about it.
I'm good.
Actually, if you got the whole weekend off, enjoy yourself, isn't it? It's later than you think.
Yeah.
Enjoy. Yeah, just go and have some fun, man. Go and hang out with Kelly. Go to the beach.
Yeah, man. I hate the beach, but okay.
You could go in my pool without me there.
That sounds good.
All right, yeah. Wicked. So that's what's going on this weekend. And I don't think there's anything on Sunday. I'm just going to check in case I'm being stupid. Nothing on Sunday.
I don't think so.
So I'm sure there's loads of stuff going on Sunday, but nothing we're doing.
So are you gonna is Kenny's calendar gonna become anything more formalized than it is, or are you just gonna keep it loose and just kind of keep rolling with it?
Yeah, just keep it loose the way it is. I just posted up stuff that I want to go to.
Yeah,
and hopefully I get friends.
I guess that's another question then is because sometimes you post, like I'll look at your story. And your story on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, it'll have, 14 flyers. And they're all different shows. So, I mean, clearly you're not going to 14 shows in one weekend. Or maybe you are, I don't know. But, so are you posting shows that you're going to go to? Are you posting shows that you want to go to? Are you posting shows that you're like, I would like to go to it, but I obviously can't go to all of them. But these are the ones that, these are the ones that I really like that you guys should all support kind of thing. Like
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I only post up things that I would go to and want to go to.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
nice.
you can only do so many things.
Yeah.
And it's a hard choice sometimes, but
Sure.
I want everybody to know what's, if you live north, what's happening at Guanabanas that night.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go down to Pompano kind of thing.
Well, that's the other nice
So-
thing is I noticed that your stories, when you post your when you post the flyers and you share the flyers and stuff, it's not just West Palm Beach or Palm Beach Gardens or North Palm or whatever. Like I see you posting stuff all the way from Stewart down to Miami or whatever. Like
I try to keep it from where I would go. From Terra Firmata down to
Do you go
Revolution.
up to Terra Firmata sometimes?
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I like that venue.
Yeah, me too. We haven't
it's a
played
cool
there in a
spot.
while, but I've played there a few times over the years. I like it too.
Yeah,
it's a cool
it's
spot.
a little bit of a drive for us. So I try to keep it where I'm going to go, but if something really good shows up, like it's say Will's Pub up in Orlando area, I'll just post that because some people will make the drive.
yeah, and that's a cool venue.
Yeah, there's
that's a really cool
like
venue.
Sanford too. That little area when they put on shows.
I haven't been there, not for a show.
Oh, you need to go there.
Yeah, what venue? What
West End.
Okay,
West End Brewery. It's cool.
we
Oh,
played. Smells Like Grunge played in Will's Pub, and my best memory of I've played there twice with two different bands, but my best memory was playing there with Smells Like Grunge, and whatever the venue capacity was, 225 or whatever it was, we surpassed it. We packed the place. There was like 270 people in there or something, and it was literally like standing room only. I mean, it was like from the stage packed all the way to the back wall. And we were up there playing, and Justin realized that he didn't have a bottle of water or anything with him, and he decided that he needed water on the stage. So he gets on the microphone and he says, I would kill if, I would love you guys forever if somebody could somehow get me a water. And it was the craziest thing I've ever seen at a show from the stage point of view. I guess they didn't have bottled water or whatever. And so they filled up a giant cup of water, and they crowd surfed it all the way without spilling a drop, all the way to the front, all the way to Justin, so that he had that glass of water. It was amazing. We have it on video.
That is amazing. I had always thought in that story, because I heard it before, that it was a bottle, but it was a cup.
Oh, no, it was a cup.
That's amazing.
It was a cup of water.
That's the scene right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, they crowd surfed water up to Justin. It was amazing.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, that makes me so happy.
So crowd surfing at Propaganda, was that the first time you ever done that?
That was the first.
Really?
Yeah, first time.
Amazing.
It's the first time?
Surfing at 60. That was it.
I've only done it probably 4 or 5 times. And the first time I did it, I was in my mid-20s. I wasn't like a teen, I was a late surfer. Yeah. But I have to say, better late than never. It's fun.
Well, I missed the surfing days. So I figured, you know what? These are all my friends. They should hold me up.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
hope.
I think there's a song in there, man. Surfing at 60. That sounds like a Billy Doom song.
There we go.
Billy, if you're
Billy.
listening, Surfing at 60 is your next hit.
We can do this.
Yeah, so you know what it sounds like? It sounds like a suicide bomber song, because it's a bit surfy.
Yeah. So skating. You still skate actively?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, try to go down the road every day when I get home from work.
Nice.
Nice.
One.
Yeah.
Nice. Longboard or regular skating?
Yeah, mostly the longboard.
Yeah.
A while ago, I was trying to be tricky, and
It's
I'm
hard.
worried about your ankles these days.
It's hard, man.
yeah, mostly the wrists.
Worried about my
fall down.
hips.
That
Breaking
too.
a hip.
Do you ever wear like protection?
Hey now, Ben.
That's a personal question,
soon as I
man.
said that,
His
I was
wife's
like,
in the
oh,
next
God
room,
damn it, I knew
man.
this
What are you
was gonna
doing?
So yeah. No, I don't. I just cruise down the road anymore.
Yeah.
Do you
gotcha.
now have? I'm assuming you don't anymore. If you did, but you're a street skater. Did you ever go to like the parks and ramps and bowls and all that
It was
kind of
mostly
stuff?
street skating, but there are some pictures on my other Instagram of the half pipe we built in our bedroom when we were in high school.
Oh, that's
That's awesome.
awesome.
It was a full half pipe, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
super cool.
In your bedroom?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What a big bedroom.
We asked my parents if we could put a ramp upstairs, and they said sure. And I think they were thinking like a little triangle ramp to jump off.
Yeah.
Like the third sheet of plywood, my mom was like, "What are you guys doing?"
Building
And
around.
she went up and she just looked and she's like, "Oh no."
Oh,
and it was
man.
so loud because it was on a wooden floor, so it just
Oh, God.
echoed.
Oh my God! It just, downstairs is.
Oh yeah.
We
So,
built one at a friend of mine's house, but it was his backyard. It was giant, but it was his backyard. So
Right.
What I would have been worried about is someone falling through the ceiling.
Well, we did put a board through the roof once, and when we pulled it out, all the insulation started coming down into the middle of the ramp. But
that was the end of the ramp.
That was it.
I don't know if you can be cooler as a teenager than to have a skateboard ramp in your bedroom.
bedroom,
That just
yeah.
wins.
Yeah.
That's just a
It's
cool
pretty
thing.
cool.
About it.
And we got photos to prove that.
That's actually amazing.
Yeah, I got to see him. In fact, if you got a picture of it, send it my way, and I'll stick it in this episode.
Okay, yeah,
it's
we'll do
coming
that
up
after.
right now.
Cool.
Wicked. Nice one. Thanks so much, Kenny. Thanks for coming on here.
Yeah, thank you guys very much for everything you do.
No, thank you, because everything we do is just preach what you actually do. So thank you for everything you do.
I just
man.
try to get people out, get out and have some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's simple, really, isn't it? It's the actual nuts and bolts of just being, what you're doing. It's just simple. You want to go to shows, so you do, and then you tell other people about them. But the fact that you do, and the fact that you want to do that is invaluable. So nice one.
Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, Kenny's the whole package. He's sharing stuff online. He's telling people about it. He's actually going to the shows. You're supporting by buying merch. You're buying the tickets to go to the show if it's a door deal. You're doing all of that. But the fact remains that to support the scene, you don't have to spend money. If you guys are out there listening right now, if you want to support a band, if you've got a busy lifestyle or you're living paycheck to paycheck and you just can't afford to go to the shows and stuff, first of all, if you can't afford to go to the shows, reach out to the bands. Most bands will figure out a way to get you to the show because they want you there.
Yeah, for sure.
But that being said, you're short on funds, short on time, whatever it is, it costs nothing to support the bands. Just share online, share the flyers, share the information, all that kind of stuff goes a long way. Goes a really long way.
Sharing is caring, y'all.
It is, man. It is. So we appreciate it, man. We appreciate everything you do. Yeah,
absolutely.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.
See you at a show. Maybe see you on Saturday. We'll see.
I'll probably see you Saturday.
All right.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Sea Grape Square on Indiantown Rd. And it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water. And it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, that brings people together. You all take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing. And some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby foot as they call it in France. Yeah, Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band Unemployed Youth accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in. And we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue. We can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in and it was a real success. Outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there.